Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen leaks. Someone has sent me a picture of what they say is the Pyro System and a planet there in the dev branch of the game. It's from what I would deem a reliable source, but it could be faked. However, I think it is probably real. The planet looks to me to be Pyro 3 in my opinion, which is supposed to have had its sort of like surface reduced to magma and flames and that sort of stuff going on there, thanks to the flares from the system's star, though it could be a different planet, admittedly, and we have had a variety of leaks over the last few months suggesting that CIG have been working on more star systems, and some of that might be shown at CitizenCon this year. It makes sense. CIG need to start getting server-side object container streaming and server meshing into the game, as well as these new star systems. The procedural tech and tooling needed to build out more gameplay area, to build out planets, to build out star systems, to build out missions, has been worked on by CIG since the start of its 7-year development. There is an expectation now at CitizenCon that they will be showing off at least one new system. Pyro, almost certainly now, especially with this leak, though there could be potentially more. Recently, in a data mine of the 3.7.1 patch, it was revealed that jump points and info about them was present. Specifically listed, I believe, was jump points to the Pyro system and to the Nyx system as well. So I thought that server meshing was a prerequisite of having multiple systems, of star systems anyway, in the game. At CitizenCon, this could be done in a more scripted, enclosed way if they want to show this off, or otherwise faked in some way, but there is also the potential that they could have temporary loading screens, or use a creative form of server-side object container streaming if they want to add new systems into the game and get them into players' hands in the not-too-distant future without full-on server meshing tech. Just a potential there. There's nothing confirmed. That's just me sort of like depositing ideas at your face. The Pyro system is supposed to have 6 planets, but for the most part, this should just be procedurally generated stuff. There's nothing super crazy going on there. There are going to be some new biomes, and there is a flare star. The actual star in that system is a flare star. That should have some interesting effects and send out dangerous solar flares. Any improperly shielded spacecraft could sustain residual damage if the star flares up during their transit, apparently. So the other major thing there in the Pyro system is Ruin Station, an outlaw pirate space station. I'd expect it to be a big version of Grimhex, but also the main social hub for the area. There's probably going to be other stuff there as well. Obviously, going to be lots of mission generation stuff, and they're building cargo stations, and we've got the rest stops as well. The Nyx system has also been heavily mentioned in data mined entries, as I mentioned earlier, and we already have Delamar and Levski there, so that's supposed to be moving to the Nyx system. It's supposed to be at Nyx. We've also heard of leaks for the Carrack, the Explorer ship being at CitizenCon, and the Pisces, its snub fighter. There's been leaks on new missions, from a rescue the crew of an 890 jump from pirates to defusing explosives at Kovlex, the Gundo hub there, with a counter mission there as well being to place them. Restocking vending machines and repairing panels at space stations was mentioned as a mission. There was also a mission about counterfeiting Alpha UEC somehow by going to an area that's guarded and taking out the guards there and using the system there to make some money. There's been some leaks about armistice zones potentially going away because they've got laws listed for discharging or brandishing weapons as crimes there, so that implies that they might be removing the hard no weapon zone areas of armistice zones, replacing it with the law system and security. Melee combat has had mentions of blocking, dodging, stunning, knockdowns, uppercuts, light and heavy attacks, takedowns, and melee weapons. Also, Mark Hamill has suggested that Squadron 42 will be released in 2020. Actually, he said Squadron 54, but then later corrected it. In fact, I have received some emails suggesting the same, but from less reliable sources. However, that does sort of go along with what I've been thinking about CIG having a hard release date, or release date mentioned at CitizenCon this year, and the start of like a marketing campaign for Squadron 42. That makes a lot of sense. With all the leaks we've recently had, though, I suspect there might be a bit of hype generation potentially going on behind the scenes by CIG. So bear that in mind as well. But I am interested to know what you think. What do you think we'll see at CitizenCon? What do you think of these leaks? Some of these might be off the mark and certainly aren't confirmations, but I do think what we have here could be pretty accurate. Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below.